An album a day is my exploration into the Korean music scene. This podcast will cover mainstream, indie, and some underground artists within the scene and provide both factual and opinionated commentary. The biggest benefit to sharing my thoughts this way is that it will hopefully expose you to more great music and exploration of your own.
You're tuned into an album a day. Show, start.
Ladies and gents and thems and every pronoun in between, hello. We're back in the semi-silence of my apartment back in Daegu, South Korea. No museum, no ambiance of an audience or crowd and conversation around us. If anything, you're going to hear the airplanes or a dog, perhaps. Y'all know how this podcast has been working at any given moment. So, I'm happy to be back and looking forward to hopefully sharing with you a group that you either have not heard of and you'll be interested in hearing more, or one that maybe you are familiar with and you're just glad that they're getting some shine. So have you ever heard of Friday Entertainment or Donuts Culture and Music Group? I'm dead serious. I did not make up the name Donuts Culture. It totally sounds like something I would do. Well, genuinely, up until the research and recording necessary for this group, I definitely hadn't. Let me be real. I had no idea this group existed. I thought I'd need my tissues on deck because we'd be visiting a group I love dearly, 21. But there's another idol group before we get to that number 2 group. And that group is 2NB, which sounds like to envy, but I don't really know if that was what they intended. But I just wanted to point that out. These days, I appeal most to pop, experimental, EDM, and other scenes far more than albums filled with heartstrings pulling ballads. It's just not my jam. But 2NB is more than musical weeping willows. The R&B act has been around since 2006, 4-year hiatus or disbandment notwithstanding, and past members took their talents to the likes of EXID and Blatty. I'm not certain if it's Blatty or Blady or... I'm thinking it's Blady or when we get to the B's, they're certainly coffee shop approved by me. Let's just get back to 2NB. Like they are coffee shop approved. You know what I'm talking about. That playlist that you can't pull your phone out fast enough to ask who the artist is because the music is so soothing and had you swaying and sipping your drink with a level of ease you didn't expect. You only stopped in for a latte. I get it. The tough cookie thing, if you will, about 2NB is that they only have 3 albums. And I'm still not certain if the 3rd album is actually a compilation of the 1st and 2nd. They're more so OST artists. If you're not familiar with what OST is, that's original soundtrack. There's nothing wrong with keeping the bills paid with soundtrack features. I've got zero judgments about their efforts. It just kills my podcast. We're not hunting down original soundtracks. This is not an OST a day, you know? And I'm barely keeping up with the a day part of this. So thanks to the power of YouTube for making their discography easier for me to find while in Korea. I really can't imagine I'd be able to dig it up with ease back in Houston, Texas. And speaking of thanks, before I get into things, I gotta show some love. Because you know we do the shout outs now. So there's sponsored ads and social media hashtags, but this show is truly supported by the efforts of my Megwalas, the most amazing, redonkulous fan base a little entertainer, podcaster, talkative woman like me could ever have. Special shout out to my Patreon patrons, the student body and the scholars, who I incorrectly shouted out in a previous episode during the 2-part special. I said the student body and the graduates. That is a movie that had Usher in it. The student body and the scholars. Not the graduates, like I said last episode. Blame my paranoia from the surroundings and not my heart. These lovely peeps, they keep my vision of becoming your favorite Korean music historian exploring of the industry from A to Z a real thing. If you're interested in supporting the growth of this podcast and supporting content, please visit patreon.com/multifacetedacg. And for as little as $1 a month, you can prevent my psychological forest fires by providing enough for me to receive dedicated script assistance. So what are they, 2NB? Yeah, 2NB, yeah? Since 2016, 2NB has been members Soon Yoon-ah and Kim Hyul-jin. Former members include Hyul Sol-ji, and she was in it from 2006 to 2012, but she ended up leaving to become the leader and main vocalist of EXID. Kim Sung-gi, or she was also known as Gabin, who joined the now disbanded, belated B, whatever the name is, and Kim Ga-hee, who was in the group from 2006 to 2007, and I don't have much on her, sorry y'all. 2NB's first studio album, Noonsiul, was released February 6, 2008, with 13 emotionally taxing symphonic ballads, and I will not lie to you and say that it was an easy listen for me. No point in lying. If we're going to be this authentic on the show with all of the random sounds and my outbursts, might as well keep it consistent. Again, this is solely on my preferences and not because it's a bad album, not at all. A good music critic can step outside of their source of usual joy and do what needs to be done, eh? With that being said, K-pop fans on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being essential listening and 1 not worth mentioning, the A3Day rating on this is a 4.5. It's legitimately a 4.5 because it's relentless with how badly it wants to make you grab a whole box of Kleenex and just cry. Like, give us free. Let me go. It's it'd be a 5 if it was something on there that felt like it was upbeat authentically, like genuinely happy about being a part of one's life. And it don't have that air to it, that feeling, that vibe. If anything, it just feels like a lot of suffering and a broken heart that just will not let go. And that's a lot to ask of a person who been jopping, it's a lot. I won't deny that the jam for me, though, is definitely former member Soji's solo, I'll Close Your Eyes. You might have a hard time finding it with this English title. Dead serious. It's Nunca Ma Chulkeo, I'll Close Your Eyes. You're going to be bummed the hell out, but it's so beautiful. It's got a long segue in, and then you eventually get to her just rip-roaring through the emotions of a relationship. And I don't even know why I was getting ready to articulate that as if it's going to be something out of the ordinary on this when I specifically said they're OST/ballad R&B. Of course they're going to be singing about some doggone feelings, some butt booty busted up ones. Nunca man Joel Girls. Wow, did you really say that? Joel Keo. Ooh, Lord. The fact that I've been reading Hangul since 2012, and this is what I sound like. It's just depressing. But if we're going to go down this little tunnel of pain and misery, let me just tell you a little bit of what these lyrics say. Like, let's do this to ourselves. Yes? You can hear me typing. My computer is like, must we do this? My emotions are saying, yes, we must. You have to know what she is saying in this song because mama was hurt. I don't even know who did it, but like if I could walk up on him and poke him in the eye, perhaps I would. Maybe that's why she was like, let me get on up out of here and go to EXID. I'm tired of hurting. And I respect it. I'm tired of hurting for you. So we're gonna hop on over and find the apropos lyrics, and then I'm going to take you over to the lovely world of Papago on Naver. It's a wonderful site when you really want something broken down as appropriately as possible, because Google Translate will have you saying some very wrong, very disrespectful things. This 13 track album, there's the album cover is purple, black, and gray, and you've got one member sitting in front of the piano and the other one is like leaning upon it, and they're just letting you know, like, we came to shred your emotions. Just in case you was wondering, let this album cover let you know where we're coming from. We hurt, and you gotta respect that. There's a level of thug in that needs to be respected. So I found the lyrics, wonderful. And shout out to, usually I use Wikipedia as a very beneficial asset for me when I need to do a little bit more deep diving on source material. But there is a wiki called Generasia, and it's very sufficient as well. It was able to allow me to see the entire track listing with a little bit more supporting information. So that was very beneficial. And all right, we got the lyrics. I'm not going through all of it because like maybe you having a good day and I don't want to set you off. We're just gonna, oh God, this shit is depressing. Sorry, y'all, excuse me. I can't beat myself like a fool, leaving the good guy without the world. Time flies like a joke, weighing on a heavy heart. I didn't know jokes fly. The only thing I ever knew about was good lips. Well, I nestled in your heart, and without shame, I was happy alone. I need you to get ahead of me. Don't follow me. I'll let you go. I'll be sorry. Please, I'll be brave. I'll close my eyes instead of holding them. It hurts less if you turn around. Holding you. You just take your eyeballs out and hold them like you one of the goblins from Labyrinth. You just do that. You just pop them on out. I'm creeped out. I'm crying alone and I'm rolling my feet and I hate my cramped heart. There's a lot of strange. You can't rest. You lean love. I'm losing it. I need you to get ahead of me. You can't follow me. Maybe you'll break your sad promise to let me go. Please, I'll be brave. I'll close my eyes instead of holding them. It hurts less if you turn around. You know how you just don't want to cry? And it's a whole nother verse of pain. Like the closing verse of pain, if you will. And the whole album just goes at you. Like, if you've been in a breakup or you just feel like crying, this is it for you. This is a solid 4.5. Like I said, it's good. It just asks a lot of me when I want to party. I don't want to pain. Yeah, that's how I say it. So we're going to conclude this one. We have a second album from the ladies that we will explore very briefly tomorrow. I don't know how easy it will be to find their music. And for that, I do apologize. Individually, you will find an abundance of their singles. They've released singles. The most recent one was August 11th of this year. So they still do release a lot of singles and whatnot. But the albums, you might have a little bit of difficulty if you're not in Asia. And I just want to precursor that. They are worth listening to. But again, just be ready to cry. I'll catch y'all in the next episode. The naked? Did I call an episode naked? Ooh, y'all, you know what? When I get back to America, I'm going to get into some English dictation courses just to fix all the problems that have occurred from teaching English as a foreign language for over 2 years. And we're going to get it together. Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all. Ashley here, better known as Multifacetedacg, and I want to thank you for checking out my podcast and rolling with the magic that's going on this show. If you happen to be listening to this on iTunes, could you please be a kind person and go right into the podcast and make sure to mark it and possibly leave a comment? Those things help with the exposure and the increased opportunities that come along with being a podcaster. It only takes a couple of seconds. I appreciate it. Bye, y'all.